For real this time. Oh lord. So, yeah, we just basically got done the introductions, didn't we?
Yep.
Um, I guess yeah, I'll talk about this since we got a little bit of time to kill, I guess, before people are like, oh, anyone who wanted to watch can watch and join in. Um, excuse me. Ba ba da ba da. So, fun stuff with me, where thankfully, my computer is actually on my SSD and also all my important stuff because my 2 terabyte hard drive crapped out um, this past Wednesday, I want to say. Tuesday, Wednesday. It crapped out, and that has not been fun. I have been unable to do RB because I cannot bit Red Dead Redemption 2 and the Red M thing on my SSD, even if I cleared it. It's too big, and it would take up that, like, you need to leave a certain amount of room free on your SSD or else it starts having problems, and
Right.
it would heavily cut into that. It would have problems, bit of not backup storage. Oh god, my throat. I'm fine. This is all fine. So, I got an email today saying that it might approximately arrive Monday. So maybe it'll be here Monday. Who fucking knows? Who knows anymore with how deliveries and that work are working now and back ordering and da di da di da. So that's fun. So I'm unable to do any RP, which is great because, obviously once I'm not there anymore and doing things, um, everything's going to happen. Which some stuff has happened, and I'm like, oh god, are there going to be ramifications for Ryan for this? What's really sucked is we got it. The staff let us do this a one-time thing where they did a third-party transfer of money from Ryan's account to Kit's account because she had already given me $1,000 for the next race's prize pool, and we planned on having it today, but there's a funeral going on today on the server we're going to have it on, so we decided to. Well, I say we decided. They decided because I had nothing to do with it because I can't even get on. So I was like, hey, I can't even do anything with this. You guys decide if you want to do it because I can't speak for you because I'm not gonna be able to do anything about it, which is fine when you're supposed to be the one in charge of the freaking company. You can't even do anything. But, yeah, aside from that, that's minor annoyance. But, oh, maybe I should put this on. Boom. Look at that. Slideshow. Cool. All awesome. We did, look at that. Enhanced stuff. It's gonna be a short RP section. But, hey, for, fun. Look at that. Look at those slides. Anyway, so what's happened in essentially the 1 week of RP I did before things crapped out? A lot of social RP, which was super fun, but the only major thing that happened would have been the race. We had our first horse race, which was rushed as all get out because I didn't know that the person who'd been running it before me had an agreement with the current server's governor for her re-election campaign to have a sponsored horse race. Didn't know that, which led to an awkward thing that I'm gonna have to deal with at some point down the line. That I promised one of the now state representatives a horse race, I said I'd look into it. Couldn't do that because we had already promised the governor she would have one. So that was a very last minute throw everything together sort of affair, but it went well. A lot of fun. Definitely room for improvement. I completely lost my shit. Trying to I tried to commentate and keep track of the race, but quickly I was unable to do either. Like, wow, it is a lot more it is just way more stressful and complicated than you think it is. It also didn't help, it was a very short track, so there were a lot of laps instead of like the normal, like, oh, it's actually a pretty big track. It takes about average around 30 to 40 seconds to do a lap, and we were averaging 15 seconds. Yeah, averaging 15 seconds a lap for that, so significantly less time to, you know, have any kind of break in narrating, or narrating in what's the word? Announcing. That's it. An announcer. They announce things. They don't narrate things. Well, I guess they kind of do narrate things, but at the same time, they kind of do. It's whatever. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna have to practice that at some point. So that's sort of that's kind of something that's both a little bit of my character, but also me. I just can't, and you know, I'm interested to try and like get better. My friends have RP friends have offered to like do mock races so I could, you know, get a better grip on things, which is very nice of them to do. Very, very nice of them. And hopefully, you know, I'd like to be able to do that sort of thing. Just, you know, I think it'd be fun. And like, there could be other situations where we're doing games where it's like, oh man, put on my announcer voice. Boom, I have one. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see how well it works. But that's it for Ryan. I think I thought I'd have like less, but then I remembered I came up with, funny enough, in the midst of me not playing Ryan, I'm like, you know what? I thought of another character to try out. This one is not going to be a main character. Essentially, they're just going to be I'd call them an event character, because they're really just going to be around when either it's requested they be around, or when their store is open. So there isn't, as to my knowledge, there is no fence. Like, there is a fence, like an NPC fence, but there's no actual, like, RP, no actual player fence, which is where the, in part, the idea for this character is to have sort of this, they're a fence, but that's more like under the facade, where they're just kind of like they advertise themselves as a merchant, just buys anything, good prices, sells things at good prices, and doesn't ask any questions sort of character. And I figured that was sort of like, that wasn't something that the server really has right now, and I think it could be an interesting thing, especially to have like this kind of character that you can, like, if you're a criminal, you got dirty money. Well, I think, funny enough, none of my RP friends have done crim characters, so they couldn't tell me how much you actually sell dirty money for. but I think it was like you when they clean the money, you only get half of what the value of the dirty money is. So I'm like, I just have my character pay you 1 for 1, and then it'd be like it's not a character. It's not a character that's meant to be rich to make a massive profit. Essentially, what I just want to try and run the character as is there is the possibility for profit, but it's very unlikely. Essentially, just the character is going to run on a minimalized deficit, where I make enough money off of what I'm doing to not make it crazy for me to just farm for money and make sure I have enough to actually pull off the stuff. So kind of a little bit of the inspiration actually for the character, is actually want to make him like the merchant from Resident Evil 4. What are you buying? What are you selling? Kind of character. I actually named him. The merchant doesn't actually have a name, so I named him after his voice actor. So I call him Paul Mercier, because that was the name of the voice actor for the merchant in Resident Evil 4. And I'm like, sure. Boom. That's sort of my merchant character. And this is sort of what I've got written down for a brief kind of like background thing. Again, this isn't a character that is meant to be like a main character, just more of a, he shows up from time to time and, you know, offers some interesting RP kind of thing. So Mercier has always had an eye for business and the acquisition and trade of goods. He was always the kid who would get you anything, no matter how difficult. It was no surprise when he became a pawnbroker at a young age, running his business out of a derelict building in the slums of New York. On the side, Mercier worked closely with criminal elements as a fence and was regarded as one of the best. When the police were finally tipped off to Mercier's operation, the raid that followed produced no evidence and no Mercier. Now looking to set himself up in a new state and rebuild his reputation, he travels to New Alexandria to take advantage of the troubled state of affairs present there. And then I just basically have I've got like goal. My goal is just with this character to set up the character to act as a pawnbroker and secret fence to allow RP for crims and civs alike. And then I made a little, I made a Google sort of like Excel spreadsheet of like the prices, and essentially I just like, I didn't want to make it a character that like 1 for 1. It's not a character I wanted people to, like, you buy something, like I sell it at, like you sell someone a weapon, I won't pay you store value for it. I pay like half of store value, and then if you want to buy a weapon from me, I sell it to you for 2/3 what it is in the store. Sort of, because I don't want it to be like, if I sold it 1 for 1 or more than the store sold it for, then that would just be a buy it from the store, sell it to this person, get money. It's more of a because you can't really sell weapons or anything other than to someone else, but this offers like a criminal, if they stole, like they took someone's weapons and they're like, well, I don't need this Winchester. Well, there's someone you can sell that to and you'll get half the value of what it is at the store. It's like, boom, there's someone you can sell it to, get money, interact with, sort of thing. And I don't know when I'll try and do that character. It's essentially just like what I've been saying, it's just for fun, just to try it out, have some sort of like, add something more to the dynamic, and like give some more, I don't know, something a little more to the crim side of things, because it's just very cut and dry. Like, rob the place, sell the stuff to the fence, maybe you get away from the deputies, maybe you don't. or rob somebody and, you know, take their weapons. Well, you can now use their weapons. Maybe if you don't want their weapons, you can maybe find someone to sell it to. Maybe not. Maybe just keep it on you forever. But I want to sort of, with that character, open up that, like, hey, wait for this guy to be around, you know. Sell your stolen stuff to him. Make some money. Have some fun. And sort of, I don't know. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. It could be great. It could be good. My character could have a lot of great relations with the criminals, and have some sort of like mutual respect with them. Or he's going to get robbed blind and taken for literally everything he's got, which would just be fucking shitty to do that, because that's what I'm worried about a little bit. It's like some criminals are just going to be like, yeah, but why don't I just, you know, rob you, take all your stuff and all your money. It's probably going to happen. I'm just hoping that the crims I RP with are actually competent RPers to any degree, and are more for, you know, having fun than making money. Because my character would need to hold a lot of money on them to be able to pay people, because like obviously I wouldn't be doing it in a town where I'd be close to a bank to be like, okay, let me go just withdraw the money. I'd be like having like $500 on my character and just hoping that he would get robbed. So that'll be interesting to see. And like I said, it'd just be like I put a post up on the notice board that's like, hey, the blank and blank traveling merchants around for the next hour or two, come sell your used stuff to them, or buy some new stuff, some used stuff relatively cheap, or something like that. And then just like be, you know, just a couple hours on that character, on like just nothing crazy, like no dedicated amount of time. It still allows me to do my normal hours with Ryan, but also just, you know, maybe get to see some other sides of RP, maybe get to, you know, give something more to the pool of RP. I don't know. Just an interesting little tidbit that may or may not end up happening. Actually, it's going to happen. I've made the character. Whether or not, you know, they stick around, like Steve Palpatine for two streams I played him for. It wasn't even a full second stream. It was just like an hour. It was like 4 hours I played that character, and I haven't brought him back up. They might be making a comeback. Maybe. Possibly. We'll see. But that's a fun little thing that I'm interested for, and we'll see how long that character goes for. It would depend on how the reception of it was taken. But yeah. So that's all I got on the RP front. So I guess I'll go a little bit, because Liv's gonna talk the shit out of Cyberpunk. So I gotta get something in before Liv talks the shit out of Cyberpunk. The only other things I can talk about, the No Pixel Dating Sim. Finally played the 2.0 version of that. Way better UI. Actual end screens, like art end screens for when you do stuff. That's cool. So for like all your different endings, you get like a custom art thing. I wish there was like a gallery or something that saved them, so you could look back on them and see which endings you've gotten, but that might be asking a little, well, maybe not. But maybe something in the future they could do. I don't know. That'd be a cool thing. I like games that do that, where it's like they give you like these art things you get for like getting an ending or something, or like doing a bunch of work to get it, and then you can just go back and there's like a gallery where you can look back on it at any time. It's always cool with that stuff. But yeah, the update we played through some of the old characters. And they added 4 new main romanceable characters and like 18 new side characters. And I'll say, not disappointed at all. That's kind of a weird way to say it. I loved it. Like it kept the same sort of quality. Like as I said when I first talked about this, the No Pixel Dating Sim, like just surprised by the quality of it and actually being a good game, and also like, you know, actually kind of compelling in some parts. And it did have a lot of those same moments, and also some really fun moments too. There was a lot more in some of the there was a lot more action in some of the new stuff, or like a lot more animated portraits and that with some of the newer storylines. Some a lot of it was just super. It just, I hope they keep going with it. Like if the people on it want to keep going with it, I hope they do, because there's so many more characters to do, and if they can just keep the level of like, you know, this is pretty good for a fan game, like pretty decent for a free, just spare time done fan game, like all for it. Like I hope they get a 3.0 of it or something like that, because yeah, it's just enjoyable. Like even Liv, when you played it the first time, you even enjoyed it. You didn't know most of the characters and that. And it's funny because even I don't know I know some of the characters. I knew like a couple of the characters that were introduced in the newest one, but a lot of them I didn't, and it's super interesting to like see a mix of like these characters, like I know that character, yeah, that's pretty spot on for them, and then just seeing these new characters and kind of getting to know them a little bit too, and it's like, oh, it's super interesting. It's like being a part of the RP instead of just watching someone do it, I guess you could say. But that's what I got to say on that. And then quick little tidbit: Star Wars Squadrons yesterday launched 3.0. 3.0? Oh, yeah, it was update 3. Was it 3.0 or 4.0? Doesn't really matter. Launched a new update which gave 1 new map for the map rotation, which is a fun map. I like it. Custom games. So now you can actually do custom games. Like you got 10 people, like 10 friends, or I guess if you have 9 friends, because you'd be the 10th person, but you know what I'm saying, because it's 5v5s. You can set up a custom match now with like 5-on-5 with a group of friends, which is awesome. Before that wasn't possible. Which will also be interesting to see when they do another like Squadrons tournament, sort of like esports tournament, that now custom matches are in. So that'll be way different and cooler. Not that the one they put on wasn't cool, but now there's more chance than just like the random chance that the teams actually participating will go up against each other. But and so yeah, custom matches, that was a huge thing. And 2 new ships, the TIE Defender for the Galactic Empire and the B-Wing for the New Republic. And I played both of the ships. Wow, are they great. Like I was worried for like, how do you balance a ship? Like the TIE Defender is of all the starfighters in the roster of the game, in lore, the TIE Defender outclasses every single one of them by a significant margin. Like, it's not paralleled to any of the other ships. So I was worried how balancing would be. They've done it really well. Like, it's very much a skill-based ship. Actually, I learned more about how to be a TIE Defender pilot by shooting them down as the New Republic than by actually playing it, which is a fun little thing. I was like, oh, well, that's cool. But essentially what they did was they made the Defender's shields like super heavy shielding, but the hull is super fragile. So if you get through a Defender's shields, it's essentially dead. You lose your shields as a TIE Defender. You've got maybe a couple seconds to get out of their sightlines, or you're space dust. Which is interesting. It really does. Excuse me. I just freaking had several thoughts cross my mind at the same time. Which one do I want to chase? Like a puppy dog with a bunch of squirrels. I'm not the best at giving sort of like good statistics, especially with squadrons where it's like you can customize it to be more this, this, and this. But I think I can give a general sort of impression of the ship, which is super powerful. Well, not... It depends. Again, it's highly dependent on how you play it, how good you're managing your power, your auxiliaries, and that kind of stuff. Which... yeah, basically, how they've... Start over again. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. Not that far. But yeah, they've like... It's deadly in the right hands. Like, I've gone up against, in dogfighting, like a whole team of TIE Defenders, and I've had the floor wiped with me, and I've wiped the floor with them. It's really skill dependent, which is great for something like that. And my first run with a TIE Defender, even though my internet was lagging a bit and I was having a hard time, like, man, I'm not doing a great game, I got 29 kills. 29 kills. Which I think my previous best was 22, 23 kills. And I was like, oh, well then. Be me throughout the entire game. Man, I'm not doing great at the end of the game. I've done better than I've ever done in any game I played in the past 12 hours. Actually, 30 hours of gameplay. And it's like, oh, okay, this ship is great. Then the B-Wing, which is a super heavy bomber. Slow as shit. They are not joking when they tell you, have an escort with you, because that thing is fucking slow. But it's semi-tanky. And holy crap, does it pack a punch. Like, it just... You unload your payload with the B-Wing on the enemy capital ships, and it just demolishes. Like, it is, as its role in lore, it's a capital shit killer. Capital shit? Capital ship killer. Crap in dogfights. Though actually, ironically, what they did with the B-Wing is they added, with its normal laser, it also fires an ion laser along with a normal laser cannon, which means it does ion damage and also normal damage, which ironically, or well, I guess maybe not coincidentally, they probably didn't, they probably knew it, but the biggest weakness on the TIE Defender is ion weapons, because literally all of its integrity is in its shields. So, ironically, the best ship to counter a TIE Defender is a B-Wing. Because it will shred the shields on the TIE Defender and then kill it. Of course, the B-Wing is maneuverable like a freaking whale, and as fast as a whale. Actually, it's probably slower than a whale. Whales are actually kind of fast. So if you get if a TIE Defender's in a B-Wing sights, a B-Wing can shred the thing. But it has to actually, get it in its sight first. Which is... I was skeptical when they brought in the new fighters. I was wondering how they were going to balance them. Would they, how would they fit into the niche? Would people want to do B-Wings more than Y-Wings? Hell no. Does everyone want to go to TIE Defender? Yes, but at the same time, there's a lot of people using the TIE Defender because it's the new ship. Also, it's the one Imperial fighter with shields, so people are using it. But it's not. They're not be-all end-all ships. They're great, but they're not they don't replace anything. They very much augment your squadron, which is it's how it really should be. It's it doesn't take away a role. It adds to it, and if you have the appropriate ships with it, then you're good. Also, I'm just realizing 5 ships for each team. You could finally have just one of each ship type. I just realized that you no longer have to double up. That's a cool little tidbit. But that's all I have on the topics I want to talk about. So Liv, Cyberpunk. I have seen gameplay of Cyberpunk. I didn't pay attention to the story at all in any of the gameplay I've watched. And, I mean, you're probably not going to say any spoilers because the game's not even a week old. So, I'm just saying that don't worry about me. I don't care if I ever play Cyberpunk. I won't remember this conversation. So, have at it.
This is typically how I kind of am with games whenever they're really good. I just don't do spoilers. But real quick though, I do have to bring up that I didn't watch the Game Awards show that came on. I was doing Cyberpunk because of it, but did get some big news. Pretty much 2 of my 3 predictions is slowly coming true. So I said that Persona 5 is actually gonna get released to PC. Half a point because we got Persona 4 Golden, and more recently we got Persona 5 Strikers. The hack and slash is supposed to be a sequel to the Persona 5 base game, so I'm actually really excited about that. However, though, I did realize from my Yakuza playthrough, Like a Dragon, that there was actually spoilers from Yakuza 6. So it made me start thinking, what are the odds that there would be spoilers from the original P5 in Strikers? And for those that don't know what P5 Strikers is, I think in Japan they call it Persona 5 Scramble. And so basically, I'm probably going to buy the game, but I don't think I could play it because I think there's going to be major spoilers in that. So that's going to suck. But anyway, and so half a point on that. And then it is confirmed Yakuza 3, 4, 5, and 6 is all getting released to PC just next month in January of 2021. That
Damn.
is awesome.
That's insane.
So I games just don't stop coming my way. I just finished Yakuza Like a Dragon. I just finished Cyberpunk, and now, like, fuck, goddamn, and now I got an entire package of Yakuza to dive into. Life just doesn't stop for me. And then Persona 5 Strikers, that's going to be released, I think, in February of next year. So, more games, just more games piled on for me. So yeah, it's going to be a Yakuza stream for a while. Um,
What's
I
new?
yeah, I know. I think that's it in terms of updates that are happening. So then there is Cyberpunk. This game. I I was talking to a friend. I wanted GTA 6 to happen. Screw GTA 6. I have Cyberpunk. This completely replaced the GTA series, in my opinion. Here's why. You know what I just recently found out just before the podcast? That RDR2 online, they actually have a standalone online version of the game without the single player, and they're charging $5 for it.
I heard that because it was brought up. Um, that was brought up in the Wild West RP Discord of how that if people would be able to actually, if they'd be able to do Wild West RP with just the multiplayer, if they needed the story still, which is
Yeah.
something that the devs are like, well, we have no idea. That's a great question. Wait till it releases and we'll tell you.
So I don't know what to make of that because, like, if they released it for free, they released it for free and they're trying to get the microtransactions, but you're charged to even put a price on that. Just I don't know what it is, but something that just rubbed me the wrong way. I think when I first heard it, my first response was just ew. Just why? Why? Freaking Rockstar used to be a boss when it came to making games. And then GTA 5 happened and it changed. It completely changed. So I don't know what's happening with Rockstar, but you know what? It's just the big 4-0 and it's just time to go. It's you got to get out of Dodge. So, and with CD Project Red, they just I'm getting like old school like GTA with this. It's just a solid game. Now, of course, apparently I've also discovered that the game is launching pretty horribly when it comes to console. I believe right now on Twitter, the hashtag cyberbug 2077 is kind of trending, and it's really a case of it's console. Like games just don't always work with console, in my opinion. I had issues with GTA 5. There was a complete heist you just cannot complete for the online, and it's I think this game was almost meant for PC, in my opinion, and because I had bugs. I will admit it. There were issues. There were problems, but nothing game breaking. Nothing really bad to where it was like, oh, this game is just unplayable. Don't get this game. In my opinion, Cyberpunk, it's game of the year. You cannot convince me otherwise. It's just solid game. Oh, and I'm going by like overall. Now, it's story wise, it doesn't compare to the Personas and Yakuza. It can't compare to that. But can it compare to like GTA and Rockstar? Absolutely. If anything, it exceeds it. And they do a great job of it. They got multiple endings. I actually finished the game just yesterday, and my first ending was actually the sad ending, and surprisingly, I was actually satisfied with it. But because I wanted to see the other endings, and I figured, well, I don't know how many people's finished it, so I just decided, well, hell, I'll hunt down what potentially is other endings. So just today, uh, I did a short little stream before. Would have went on a little bit longer, but due to reasons, I had to back out of it because I know there's a couple of boss fights that's a little tough, and I think I was like 3 hours in, and it would have been another 4, and that would cut right into the podcast, and I didn't want to do that. So, and plus, the boss fight near the end, they basically don't allow you to save, so it's not like, oh, I could save up until this point, and then we'll go from there. They just put a lockdown on saving within certain periods in the game, just to kind of add that layer of difficulty, which is fine. But um, but yeah, so I got the sad ending first. I backed out and did some other choices. I got like a generic ending slash maybe kind of bad, I would say, and it was getting so bad, like it was repetitive as fuck, and I hated it. It was absolute trash, and I was like, what the hell is this? It's weird. You just got to do the same crap over and over, and it just kind of just goes nowhere, and it just kind of ends, and it's like I clearly it's the bad ending, but mm, yeah, and I kind of ended my stream on that, which kind of stings just a little. But anyway, but the ride to there was just interesting. Before even though I'm building up for another, I think there's 2 more endings that I could think of. So I want to see how that ends. I'm going to be doing that tomorrow. But I actually did a series of side quests essentially today, and I'm actually kind of pissed I didn't do those side quests because it was telling a really good story, at least in my opinion. Um, it was going into Keanu Reeves' character, and Keanu Reeves, I want to say, did do a pretty good job for the character he was playing. Possibly not the greatest performance I've ever seen, but I mean, it was good. A lot of the voice acting was really good in it. Um, yeah, it's just solid all around. Oh my god, the level of skills you could put onto your character. They have 3 fucking skill trees, dude. They got 3 skill trees. Here's
That's
why.
awesome.
Here's why. You have implants. Implants, they could variety in whether it be hacking, whether it be gaining more health, stamina, cooldowns, what have you, maybe even reload speed, who knows. There so you have implants with that could give you skills and perks off of that. Your If you ever played Division, it or something like what's another good example? It would be closer to Division, but also Remnant as well. Uh, they have Remnant slash Division mechanics in the game to where weapons have certain skills and perks. They have your common, uncommon, legendary, uh, rare, epic, that sort of thing. And so the weapons would have skills themselves. The higher the tier, the more skills, that sort of thing. So that's awesome. So you get skills off of that. Your clothes is armor. So whatever clothes you have on, that's going to be armor. And that's also tiered as well. So if you get legendary gear there, more stats to your character, uh, already there. You could add like weight capacity in the process. I think I came across like a jacket, and I think it boosted like 5 or 10. I think weight capacity, so it increases weight. Um, so, and then there's attributes. Attributes are essentially they could be a variety of things. So, like, I think technicality is supposed to be like kind of like your hacking tree. So your attributes, you build up your attributes, and uh, you there will be like a panel, and you got to get like to a level 8 on technicality. And if you're at a level 3, well, you need to level up your technicality in order to hack that particular panel. Same thing with like oh god, uh, one of my favorite things was body, because if you upgrade body, it's essentially your strength to a degree, and with that, you could like rip off like a Gatling gun off its hinges, and like you freaking two-hand that motherfucker. You just grab it, rip it out, and like you could just go ham on people. Is freaking badass. So also with body, you could like rip open doors that are like normally shut, like locked closed, maybe even reinforced steel, and you could just tear it right off the hinges if you upgrade body. Also with attributes, it would unlock particular comments and like questions that would come up that you probably won't always get to answer. So that's kind of cool. So if you, I don't know, have say reflexes at like a level 5, and you know uh you only need like a level 3 uh question or something, you will be able to like answer that and that sort of thing. So it gives you more like question options, that sort of thing, comment options. So that's really cool as well. So it's not just like hacking and all that stuff, but it's also questions. There's also 3 classes, and this is interesting. So when you first start the game, there is Nomad, there is, I think, Street Kid, and Corporate. So depending on your playthrough, it's going to change the intro depending on your class. I'm trying to think, what was I doing? I think in my playthrough, I think I went with Street Kid because I thought, well, you're going to run into a lot of factions, a lot of gangs. So maybe going with like knowing the streets, that would help. And I kind of feel like it did a lot. So I don't know what Nomad is. I want to say it's like more with like car racing and that sort of thing. Um, so there might be maybe missions more directed towards that. I'm kind of curious, but I'll have to do like multiple playthroughs in order to see all that. But I I'm really trying to think what was some of the stuff that I was doing in the opening scene. Um I just remember I was like on the streets and stuff, and then I decided off stream I'm gonna do a corporate playthrough. I'm like in an office building, there's like new characters that I don't even recall in my original playthrough, and I'm like, the hell is this? And I think even right off the bat, by the way, I was struggling to make money in my stream playthrough. Some dude just gave me like 10,000 eddies, and that's their currency in the game. And it's like, he just gave me 10,000 like it was nothing. And it's like, I had to go I end game I got 10,000. So, and this motherfucker just gives it right off the bat, and it's what the hell. So so yeah, it's a little different with new dialogue and everything. Hell, I even had like my own cubicle and shit, and it's like goddamn, it was like completely different. So now I'm like really curious about how what would it be like if I did a corporate playthrough. So now So now I'm like getting excited to like see like a off stream playthrough. I want to see what that's all about. So yeah, it's really cool. It's really different. Um, you have cars that is locked to your character. I'm sure if they get wrecked, you could just have them just be recalled in, that sort of thing. And it's really cool. Whenever you call in your car, apparently it's robotics. It just pulls up like a ghost car and just parks right in front of you. Get in, bam, there you go. So it's the future, and it just looked very badass. And it's a solid game all around. I had a lot of fun. I think I have like about 30 hours into the game, but out of the 30 hours, I think I actually ended my first playthrough around the 23-hour mark. So I'm going to say like about 23, 25 hours if you just grind main story. I did not do any of the side content. So basically that's what I'm going to be doing over the next month or so. I'm going to be going back and forth between Yakuza and Cyberpunk, and it's going to be awesome. These are two of my favorite games that I played this year, and I'm so glad I got a chance to play these. It's just been a lot of fun. Time of my life right here. It's like with Yakuza, I would get up in the morning, make some food, eat it, probably watch some YouTube, whatever, and then I'll start my stream. Cyberpunk is different. I broke two cardinal rules of streaming, at least with me. I take pride in not taking breaks. Well, I took breaks like a motherfucker in this because I had to. Um, I also have a rule to where I don't eat on stream. Well, that went right out of the window as well because I would get up, uh, turn on my computers, go to the kitchen, make my food, come back, and basically start the stream. And at some point, I would try and find a good like dialogue going on back and forth. And I'm like, okay, now I could mute my mic. I could just hit this button and be able to eat. So yeah, it's so Cyberpunk is different. Like for me, it was a marathon, and it was a marathon that I am willing to do all over again. It was just so fun. GTA is my favorite kind of type of game of all time. One of my favorite games of all time, and it just gave me multiple vibes. Hell, I even got like New Vegas uh vibes from it, and I thought that was awesome. So uh I'm pretty sure it takes place. I think Night City is basically LA because they do mention California by name. And when I was hanging out with the nomads, like there was whole areas I was like, this is New Vegas. Like I've been here in this game. It looks exactly alike. Um so yeah, it's just been a lot of fun, and I just can't stop speaking highly of this game. And it does suck that the console guys are having issues with the game, and it it really just boils down to I kind of feel like this game, if it was released, uh, if technology could keep up a little bit, it wouldn't be an issue. But I kind of feel like the game was meant to come out a couple of generations in the future almost because there was choppiness, there was lag. But I actually discovered it might actually because it might be with me because I have like web browsers and stuff. I even have OBS running in the background, and it's mirroring my streaming PC. And because of that, I think it was bogging up uh some CPU and my GPU, and I think that is what was causing some of my frame rate issues. But but as long as I dumb down the graphics, it actually runs beautifully. And then off stream, when I was doing my corporate playthrough, I discovered if I just do the game, it actually runs smooth even on ultra. So I'm starting to think maybe that was just too much going on in the background. Um, Also, I forgot to bring this up. Because like one of the things that I do happen to use, I discovered so like DMCA is like a big thing on Twitch. Well, it turns out Twitch has actually came up with a pretty fucking good idea. So they have now it's called Soundtrack by Twitch. It's on Twitch. It's a channel. I'm pretty sure it's Soundtrack by Twitch. You could download an application, and they have full-fledged copyright-free music. Some of it with lyrics, and bands just play music, and they have multiple genres. I've kind of been liking the jazz and rock channels, so I've been kind of doing that on my streams lately, and it's actually kind of awesome. So I kind of recommend kind of doing that. So, which also, um, Cyberpunk, I noticed also had a very similar setting, and it did get patched. I noticed. They have a uh disable copyrighted music on their uh one of their settings, and apparently some of them the copyrighted music managed to pop up a few times, and because of that, uh, they obviously caught it and they try to patch it out. So hopefully that's no longer an issue, but it's kind of awesome that they have that. So, but yeah, it's Cyberpunk, man. It's I have a major addiction, and I just love it. This is a really solid game, highly recommended, but it you do kind of need a little bit of a beast to run it from the way it looks like. But all else fails, just dumb down the graphics, you should be fine. And yeah, it's just been a lot of fun. It's I have multiple vibes just from playing this game. Only like 20 something hours, but it's the best 20 hours I've played. And I'm really excited to check out the side content and check out some of the side quests. And yeah, it's just been a lot of fun. It's really something.
Yeah.
Dark?
Yep, I'm here. Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, it's super interesting. I've seen a bit of it, and it looks super fun. I haven't paid any attention to the story whatsoever or any of that, but the mechanics seem super smooth and the gunplay looks fun. Also, my friend was just he found a freaking dildo that was like unironically the best melee weapon that he had, like by a long shot. So he's just going around freaking it was in the Discord stream in the one Discord, just watching him just run around with a freaking dildo, just freaking smashing everything. It was so hilarious.
I discovered that melee weapons in general seem to be OP. So I've been struggling to like get kills with like assault rifles, and I was building up like those stats, and then all of a sudden I if you do a strong attack, like I just two tap people. I hit them once and they're staggering, and then by the time they settle, I'm already power charged for the next shot. So once they actually pull out their gun again, like I hit them again, they're dead. It's just bam bam.
Yeah, it was like doing like significantly more damage than even any of his guns. Like it was like, oh, why is that up? Excuse me? Why is that popped up on the screen? There we go. That's weird. Hello? Something fuck up? Did Discord fuck up?
Maybe I just
Oh,
checked the right nets, I guess.
there we go. For some reason, Discord stopped working.
Well, that sucks.
Okay, that's fine. No, that was only for the past 10 seconds. That's it.
Right.
Okay, yeah, you're coming through on OBS now. Okay. Cool. Alright, the crisis averted. Crisis averted. We're all good here. So yeah, do you have anything else you want to say on that? Or are you still going?
No, I think I'm good. I think I'm good.
Alright. Well, let's go over to clips then, which apparently I accidentally pulled up. I don't know how. I accidentally pulled them up, but I did somehow accidentally pull them up. So that's a little weird. Go ahead and that screen share this one. There we go. That should be good. So, alright. The first one's, first three will be mine, the last four lives. Mine are all from RP. The first two are from a murder mystery night, which was an interesting one where essentially there was one person who was the intruder and everyone else was, you know, a guest. And basically the intruder would tap people, would try and, like, you know, kill as many or like everyone essentially, and not get caught, or at least try and kill as many people and not get caught as they could. And there were like clues scattered around the boat here. This took place on the Corrigan, the docked one, and there was like little clues that you could find that would tell you like something about them, like an article of clothing that they had or something like that, something to give you a hint of who the murderer was. And then how it would go, well, I guess it really doesn't matter because you don't see any of that in the clip, but it was super fun, interesting. The rules were interesting, and I thought it played really well for it being an RP. They did 2 rounds, and we'll see. I was actually it for the second round, so that's a fun clip related to that. But let's watch the first one here, the first highlight from this is from the first round. Sorry. Okay, Ulysses is 100% not. That was the perfect opportunity to kill. Did not take it. A lot of running, folks. I don't know what to be more worried about. The folks who are walking around on their own, or the ones that are paired. Starry's being really, oh. They wear a top hat. Fucking. Ah.
No, alright.
Hello. What are y'all doing in the
Wait! Fuck's sake. I 100% thought he was safe. I just had to play that whole thing because it was just too perfect. Like, I bump into him. I'm like, oh well, he can't possibly be the murderer, and then he's the murderer. And then at the end there, freaking Maggie and Fiona show up, and they don't. I was like, surely. I'm like, oh, Ulysses just left. I'm like, oh, 100%. They caught him, right? Nope, they didn't notice my body for a solid like 20 seconds before they realized, oh shoot. Oh, that was super fun. Then this is the second one. This is when I'm the murderer. Play this one.
I think we're all ready to go then. Y'all know the rules. And if you haven't, we'll hope you done read them. When I say go, y'all ready to go around the ship and do as you need to. Don't, you're able to go anywhere on it, just, don't leave it.
Sure.
Alright then. 3, 2, 1, skedaddle.
Alright.
I'm going to loop around, kill Ulysses.
I'm sticking with you, Mr. Ryan.
All right.
Pretty sure you're not a murderer. Are you a murderer?
Maggie, why would I be a murderer?
You almost gave me a scare, Mr. Ryan. I thought you know me.
No, seriously, Maggie, drop.
Wait, what?
Seriously. Like that. You couldn't have wrote that any better. She's just like, yeah, I'm gonna stick with you. And I'm like, well, that's her funeral. It's like, yeah, you're not the murderer, right, Mr. Ryan? I'm like, come on. Totally not. I was just like, oh my god, this is too perfect. It's like, you'd swear that was planned, but it wasn't. It just happened. Oh, those are some interesting popular clips that he's recommending to me. Cyberpunk. Woo. Oh, this one's all about the timing. This is another one where it's like, I swear to God, sometimes this stuff just happens organically, and you couldn't possibly plan it any better than what happens. I expect one of these days to wake up here and like for Kit to be here. Could someone clip that? Again. Just the fucking, it's just such perfect timing. I'm like, I expect her to be here one of these days. Immediately she spawns in. Like, holy crap. You can't plan this stuff. It's just beautiful. It's just so beautiful how things work out sometimes. Oh god. And now we're on to your clips with one from Silent Century.
Right.
Okay, we're just playing it?
Yeah.
Alright. Sounds good. Let's play it.
There's shit going down over here.
I can definitely inform you as to why was happened here, Ron.
What's going on?
One of the officers was undercover, dressed here to buy a brick of coke.
Oh,
What
brick
we
of
have here
cocaine,
is
all right.
A gigantic sting.
Oh, looks like the dead body caught in a whirlpool. Oh, someone's
Oh,
out.
shit, it's a
The
submarine!
submarine has now emerged, and he's
Oh my
off.
god!
Oh, Jesus
Holy
Christ!
shit.
The submarine rigged with explosives. It looks like some kind of a
Looking for
last-second attempt
explosives.
at negotiating with the
Oh my
police. Something went
God.
wrong. The submarine now has exploded multiple millions of dollars,
Millions of
guaranteed.
people died in that
Just
explosion.
sinking.
Millions dead.
Definitely,
the whole crew has been
looks like the
absolutely
explosion
annihilated
from
by
the submarine has caused damage to the Ferris wheel and the roller coaster. A lot of disappointed families this weekend at the fun day scheduled just this
Looks like
Saturday.
Twin Tower has been entirely destroyed by the explosion here.
It looks like they've got a goddamn dog. There's a dog.
What
The
fuck,
family
that's
pet.
a dog.
The family pet in the water floating.
The dog is dead in this incident. It looks like a dog has confirmed.
Oh my god, that's on. Oh my god.
Good stuff.
Oh god, you gotta love improv in RP. Just people who can run with it like that. Just absolute gems. Alrighty, next clip. Anything you want to say before we play it?
It's just this is AC, friend of Anthony, and it's just them just fucking around. It's hilarious.
All right.
100,000,000,000% there was an orb upstairs. I saw it. Anthony, you're dead. Anthony, you're dead. Anthony, I'm sorry. Anthony. You're such a fucking... I hate you so much, you stupid idiot. 100,000,000,000%.
I just love the overreaction. It's so good.
No, I'm just fucking with you. It would have been great. That would have been perfect timing for the actual haunt to have happened. It's like, I'm just fucking with you. Door closes immediately after he opens it.
Yeah, because for those that don't know, I'm pretty sure the ghost could actually lock you in by shutting the front door, so you can't open it. And if I remember correctly, I think that's what he was doing. Is like, oh my god, the door's closed. Where are they at? Where is she? And I'm just fucking.
And here's another one from AC.
Oh god, the timing on this is just hilarious. Hilarious.
All right.
Ruth. Are you here? Can you hear me? Did you die here? How old are you? She's talking to me. 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 Ow, fucking. I'm dead. I'm dead. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I got her!
Oh
I
my
got her!
god, you just saved my fucking life.
I got her!
Oh my fucking god. I'm done with this.
Oh my lord, I am very surprised. I am very...
So, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure there are some ghosts that they only attack if you're alone. And I think what happened is the ghost was trying to attack AC, but everyone showed up. So then the hunting stopped. So so she would freaked out and she was about to die, but then everyone oh my god, it's just so funny.
And lastly, we have a Momo. Some Among Us.
I just find Momo's reaction hilarious. It's just funny.
Okay, let's go.
And not to say that I haven't experienced love in my life, because that's not true. I have. It's just I've experienced a lot of bad too. And I've just
the sad face was hilarious. I love it so much.
That was
the subtleties. I love it.
just the sad
Just
anime
describing
eyes.
The sad face. I love it.
Comedic timing is a real thing. Evident by
She
like
was
all
trying to
those
have a
clips.
normal conversation with her chat, and then all of a sudden, just bam.
Let's get real for a second. Oh shit, I'm dead.
I know, right?
Oh, that was good. Alrighty. So I guess we'll move on to Artist of the Week. I guess I'll go first, because Liv, I bet you have a story and a half for yours. If you don't, I'll be surprised. I will be surprised. So let's see. So the Artist of the Week I picked was the All-American Rejects. They are a... Shit, where was it? I just saw it. Where was it? Where it said what they are. They're a emo pop group. Was their bio say on Spotify? Vocalist bassist Tyson Ritter and guitarist Nick Wheeler from Hail from Stillwater, Oklahoma, where the pair first embraced music as an appealing diversion from the ho-hum life of small-town America. Citing such influences as AC/DC, Def Leppard, and Bon Jovi, they formed the emo pop group All-American Rejects in 2000, while both members were still in high school. Maintaining a full lineup proved to be difficult. However, Ritter and Wheeler employed drum loops and pre-programmed rhythm tracks during their early performances, an arrangement they then reprised with their self-titled debut. They originally released their first album in like 2002. Band scored hit single with Swing Swing, which attracted attention from Interscope Records, ultimately landing the All-American Rejects. Their label's prized landing them on their label's prized roster. And they go. Are they still active? I'm trying to see. Years passed until they returned and screenshots. Oh, they reemerged in 2019. Ooh, cool. So yeah, words have just failed me at this point in time. Yeah, they're a nice little band. I like some of their songs. They're pretty I guess poppy, kind of catchy. You know, just I can't think of the words right now to describe. I guess poppy, catchy, sort of. I don't know. They're just one of those groups that I like some of their songs, and they're decent. That's what I have to say. Riveting, I know. Exceptionally, always riveting. Liv, what'd you think of the band?
Wasn't really my cup of tea, really. Yeah, no real song stuck out. So, yeah.
All right. Well, we'll move on to yours. Excuse me, Jesus Christ.
Okay.
You did. There it is, Chuck Berry.
Yeah. Chuck Berry, he's a legend in rock and roll. I absolutely love his music. He's one of the guys that basically started what we know as rock today with rockabilly. I absolutely love this song. No Particular Place to Go. If I remember correctly, I think there was a. I'm trying to blank on the name, but one of his songs was featured in Pulp Fiction. Because I think they were at a scene to where they were at like a rockabilly like throwback restaurant, and they had like a dance contest, and I think they had I think that was the one to where they had a Chuck Berry song. But anyway, he's just a legend. He deserves to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for a reason, because you basically can't start rock without talking about Chuck Berry. So between him, Carl Perkins, and Little Richard is what Lemmy Kilmister has said what true rock and roll is. It was between those three, and they really did kick off the genre. And what always made Chuck Berry so different from some of the other musicians, they weren't just musicians and entertainers and performers. They they always did something a little bit more. It was something that you really notice with like guys like James Brown, and Little Richard did it too. They won't just play music, they would also be dancing a lot on stage as well. And I always thought it was kind of interesting how, and it's actually one of the reasons why I wanted to get a live cut of Chuck Berry when he did a song uh Johnny Be Good, because he always, because he, like I said, he doesn't just play tunes, he actually does dance. He's known for doing the dog walk, which sadly he didn't do in the video that I have, but he moves around, and he doesn't and the fact that he's still able to like hold a chord and play at the same time, I always thought that was impressive of him. And he's just really good. He outlived some of the best known rockers ever. This guy lived he lived until 2017. The guy died at 90 years old. He a true living legend. The one of the sad things I do recall, it was a little awkward when I actually really didn't know too much about like mental health and that sort of thing. And when I heard about like people that have dementia, they it it's a sign that they don't have a whole lot of time left. And I never knew about that. And it's kind of funny because when I learned about that, when people have like say Alzheimer's, it they don't have too much time. And then when I heard about that, I discovered that there was a small gig that Chuck Berry actually did play when he was in his 80s. And he was playing the song, and it was a classic song that he played. And he actually stopped in the middle of it, and he said, "Guys, I actually forget the rest of the song." So, like, that was a sign that it was, oh, it's getting bad. Very similar to actually what happened with Lemmy. Um, for some reason, I remember I saw a live performance of Lemmy to where I think he was playing one song, but he was singing the lyrics of another song, and that's never a good sign. And when I noticed that in both of them, and sure enough, a couple of years after I discovered that, well, saw those kind of type of performances, uh, I noticed that a couple of years later they passed. And but it was something I didn't really know at the time, and now knowing it, it's kind of it's always a little sad to kind of hear. But yeah, he's one of the best. He's one of the greatest. Um, I wish I could tell you more, but that's basically it. And I just really like his music. It's his classic stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd never watched Pulp Fiction, but I'm pretty sure I've heard these songs before. Like at least like a couple of them. I'm pretty sure I've heard this before. Like I thought I've heard No Particular Place to Go and Johnny B. Goody before, but I can't. Maybe it's entirely possible. I've heard a lot of music over the course of forever, but I thought Chuck Berry, solid good from me. I liked his stuff. I thought it bopped, I guess. Maybe not bopped is not the correct term, but or more accurate to how I felt. But you know what? I good. I give it a solid good. Solid good on my rating.
Yeah,
7 out of 10.
I really liked it, and it also reminded me of going back to the Mafia series. I'm pretty sure there was a couple of songs from Chuck Berry and Mafia 2, so it's kind of hard to not add them into the Artist of the Week, for sure.
For sure. Alrighty. So, any last things you want to say that's going on with you before we end the podcast?
Nothing too much. Just mostly doing Cyberpunk because I am curious to see what other endings I could potentially find. Since the playthrough is kind of short, like if you just grind main story, yeah, like 20 something hours. I figured, yeah, I could look up like a video online, but if I can mimic it and like do it myself, I think I'm gonna go that route. And plus, it just gives me more reason to play Cyberpunk. So, yeah, I'm gonna be doing that. And then once I finish trying to find the other playthroughs, I think then I would just start doing some of the side content and just going through that. Maybe even start planning out other playthroughs because I just really love the game. It's just awesome. I'm gonna be flip flopping back and forth between Yakuza Like a Dragon and Cyberpunk for a while until probably the Yakuza Remastered Collection, which I believe is 3, 4, and 5. That's going to release in January of next year. I think it's late January, like 26, I believe. Whatever date it is, I'm probably going to end up playing it day one, most likely. But we'll see what happens. But until then, it's going to be basically Cyberpunk and Yakuza Like a Dragon, just having fun with those. Still, Like a Dragon, still doing my English playthrough, and came across one of the funniest side stories I've ever seen. Also, I think I did forget to bring this up. I did do a Yakuza 15-year anniversary on my stream. It is mind-blowing that I am the first searched video if you type in Yakuza Yakuza 15-year anniversary. My stream pops up first before the actual stream does.
Okay, hold on a second. What did you type into Google?
Yakuza 15-year anniversary.
Yakuza 15-year anniversary.
I was the first search. I don't know if it still is, but it was.
Yeah,
at least with me, anyway.
No, that doesn't seem to be the case anymore.
15th anniversary?
I typed it in. I'm not seeing it.
Okay, for me, it's showing me at number 2 and number 3.
Are you in videos or all?
I just typed it into the search.
Huh. Nope, not seeing yours. So it might be might be your search history being a little biased because, you probably searched up your own.
Actually, no.
Really? Huh.
I went into I have a screenshot of it on my Twitter, actually, because like I screenshotted it, one with my account and another one not logged into any account, and I got the same results side by side. What the hell is that?
No, I'm not getting.
The hell is it? There it is. Yeah, this is my tweet. Bam, and... But yeah, that's a actual screenshot.
Oh, you typed that into YouTube. Okay.
Yeah,
go to YouTube. We go to YouTube then. YouTube. Yakuza 15th anniversary streams. Is what you typed in there?
Just Yakuza 15th anniversary.
Okay, 15th anniversary. Oh yeah, you're number 2.
But yeah, for a while I was actually the first search, and because of that, I ended up I actually got a lot of traffic. The one time I actually had like 30 people in my chat, all of them on YouTube, because they were trying to find that stream, and I guess they decided to just watch me instead because they figured, oh, they're just gonna be it's not about what is said, it's more because it's all done in Japanese,
right?
So they had the guy that did the voice of Kiryu, they had the guy that did the voice of Nishiki / he later ends up doing Ichiban in 7, but they had those 2 voice actors, and I thought that was kind of awesome. They went over the timeline of every Yakuza game released, and it was just kind of awesome just to hang out with like 30 people at like 3 in the morning my time, and just we're all just kicking back, just watching, hoping that there's probably going to be like a big juicy announcement. And we did get an announcement, but it was mostly just I think we just got Yakuza Like a Dragon's gonna get some DLC and PlayStation 5 release. I think that's all they announced, and so it was a little disappointing, but I would do it all over again just simply because it was just awesome to hang out with 30 other people that just really enjoyed the game, and I was trying my best to keep up with them, interact with them, and just kind of give them my opinions. There were definitely some good questions in there. One of my favorite questions, mostly because like it was a question I actually had I had a discussion with a friend of mine IRL, and like, what if there was a Yakuza game that took place between 0 and 1, and because like I think 0 takes place in 88, and I think Yakuza 1 takes place in like 2005, so like the timeline, like there's a huge gap in there. You could easily work a story in there, and I thought that was kind of interesting. I gave my take on it, so like it was just fun to have a whole bunch of people that has as much as enthusiasm as you do with the game. Definitely a lot of talk of the PC release. I wanna think that we finally got through to them. So now it's official. Like Yakuza's now on PC, and it was just really cool. I really enjoyed that. So yeah, that I forget when that was. I think that was back on the 8th, I believe. But yeah, we were all up 3 in the morning, and we're just talking Yakuza, hoping that something was going to happen, and it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you're like the second, fourth, and like seventh video
Yeah,
that
I
shows up for
uploaded
that.
it multiple times.
That's
Uh,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, I uploaded it multiple times just simply because there's one with like everything because I did Yakuza Like a Dragon before the stream started, and I did it again like after because I saw how many people that was there. I was like, maybe if I play a little bit, maybe they might hang around, what have you. And got a couple of subscribers on YouTube because of that, so it was kind of awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that is awesome. Man, that's great. Yeah. Anything else? What you got going on with like anything else going on, or that about sum it up?
No, I think that's pretty much it. So just gonna be playing Cyberpunk and Yakuza Like a Dragon. Probably gonna be doing Cyberpunk tomorrow.
Nice.
Check out those endings.
Nice. With me, hopefully back into RP soon. Well, I won't be because of how delayed the podcast ended up being. I was like, I don't know if I want to stream tonight, and I'm definitely not streaming now. I mean, I am streaming now. I mean, something other than the podcast. Duh. But tomorrow probably won't be streaming. I might. I don't know. It's up in the air. I'll probably do some squadrons, maybe. I don't know how well I'll be able to stream it. It's Hell Let Loose game, which is like World War II, 50v50 people shooter game, objective-based shooter, I guess I could say. Which is super fun. I've been having fun playing it with some RP friends on that. Putting a squad together and just going and doing stuff and winning and losing and just having a good time while doing it. Oh, I know it's like 2 months later. But my idea for the Moxie emote, actually been recommended. Told one of my RP friends, is actually like an artist and actually does emotes. So I'm going to probably after the podcast DM her, ask her about maybe commissioning her to do a custom emote. I don't know if she'll do just one. It might be one of those things where it's like I've seen other artists like buy 5, like they do it in batches of 5 instead of like individual emotes. So I'll either be getting one or multiple professional done emotes. I'd have to actually think about what the other ones would be though, because I just have the idea for the one emote I want for the Moxie Sass emote, which would just be like a chibi cartoony version of Moxie, my Red Dead, my Wild West RP horse, and like it to be like a sassy emote, because of course that would be what Moxie. That fits Moxie perfectly, being a sassy horse. Because that horse just radiates sass. But that might be a thing coming soon. Maybe. Who knows? I promise I won't forget this time. It probably won't be another 2 months before any news on this happens again. 2 months later. But yeah. I think that's all that's going on for me. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. We'll see all of you on the 20th for episode. Almost said episode 20, episode 39 on the 20th, over on Liv's channel. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, just, have a great time, get in a snowball fight or something. But just make sure there's no ice or rocks in the snowballs. Alrighty. Yeah, thanks very much for watching. We'll see y'all next time. Goodbye, everyone.
See ya.